So, what's going on, everybody? The Iceman here on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel on this Wednesday morning. Yeah, the Iceman's still here in Portland. He'll be headed home a little bit later on. But today I want to talk about Darkhorse TV Elite, a good friend of mine on Facebook as well as YouTube. Now, as everybody knows, his previous channels here on YouTube brought a lot of controversy. Um, there was a lot of negativity, uh, and there just was a lot of agitation that went along with his channels in the past. And he had left, and he had a lot of issues and whatnot with his channels. And it's almost like a superstar in wrestling leaving as a heel, maybe due to her injury or whatever, being gone for a period of time. And then when he returns, he comes back and he does a full face turn. And this man, Darkhorse, did just that. He came back. Um, he wanted to make things better. He wanted to make things right here on YouTube. And he spent a lot of time and effort in doing so. And what he did was he came up with a plan. Um, he wanted to mend his relationship with many people that he had issues with here on YouTube by doing Google Hangouts. And the concept was awesome. It made a lot of sense, and it was successful. He had Google Hangouts with Wrestling Jesus. He and Wrestling Jesus mended fences, and he mended fences with others as well that he had issues with. And for him to do all this took a lot of courage, took a lot of guts, and it just goes to show you what type of people really can be when it all comes down to it. And I think by him doing these Google Hangouts, he did a lot of good for YouTube. And, as well as mending fences for himself, he brought a lot of YouTubers together in a hangout, whereas, many of these YouTubers didn't get along. There was issues between Wrestling Jesus and Andre Corbeil. Uh, a hangout by Darkhorse TV Elite brought everybody together. They aired out their differences in the hangout. Thusly, they became friends. And like I said, this is a very, very positive thing that he did. Same thing with Sean's View Entertainment. He got Sean's View to be on his hangouts. Got a bunch of other people that had issues with Sean. Mended fences. So this idea of, bringing people that were having issues with each other on his Google Hangout brought a lot of attention to the YWC community, but it also brought a lot of healing to the YWC community. And I commend Darkhorse TV Elite for doing so. I think he did a phenomenal job in his efforts. And, when it was all said and done, everybody was, being happy. They were happy. People were commenting on the Hangouts. People that were involved in the Hangouts were getting more subscribers to their channels, which was also a plus. So everything that he did here to try to bring everybody together in the YWC with these Google Hangouts was positively an A+ job. Now, as the Hangouts went on, I honestly think, I was involved in a couple of the Hangouts. I don't do Hangouts very often. I like them, but I honestly think that it got to the point where everybody that was getting involved in these Hangouts, it got to where it seemed to me like by watching from the outside, there were some people that wanted to be in the spotlight. They wanted to take over the Hangout, and thus created some consequences here. And it just got to the point where there was a little dissension amongst the members, and it just created tension. So just as recently as yesterday, I was reading a post on Facebook that Darkhorse TV was going to be leaving YouTube. There was a lot of issues that were going on, and to be quite honest with you, the man tried to bring everybody together. And I had posted on the Facebook page that he did a commendable job for starting this. And, he got the ball rolling. And in my opinion, it's for the other members in the YWC that were involved in these hangouts to keep the hangout on the go. We need to mend the issues that there are. They weren't created by Darkhorse. They were created by all of us within. I think egos got involved, and I think that's, unfortunate. This message is to you, Darkhorse. You take some time off from YouTube. Come back as a face like you did the last time, and hopefully, things will be a little bit calmer then, because if it weren't for you, there's a lot of YouTubers in this wrestling community that still would not be talking today. So I give you 100% of the credit for everybody gathering together and straightening out their issues. Now, the people that are now having issues, it's up to them to keep what you started escalating to become much better here in the YWC. So it's unfortunate that egos have to get involved, but in a big community, you're always going to see that no matter what. I look at things this way. Personally, I think of everybody as an equal, and I think that's how everybody else should feel as well. You could have a YouTuber with 77,000 subscribers. You can have a YouTuber with 1 subscriber. I look at them as equals. No one is that much better than the other. We're all here for the same thing, to talk about the world of professional wrestling and whatever topics we wish to talk about. And hopefully everybody can get their head a little straight and realize that Darkhorse started something very good, and it's up to us to continue on his tradition. Have yourself a great day here on YouTube, anywhere you are around the world. I want to give a big shout out to the Shadow Man, Ian. I thought it was a pleasure to meet you in the Google Hangout, and I look forward somewhere down the road to being involved in another Hangout with you, as well as a lot of these other guys that were involved in the Hangouts previously. Peace out, everybody. Have yourself a great Wednesday. And remember, Darkhorse TV started these Hangouts to mend everybody, to resolve issues. We must continue it on, and hopefully when Darkhorse comes back, he can continue doing something that he started and was so successful at doing. Have yourself a great day.